I did the python.
I'm here with my man Miguel from Always Evolving Pythons. You guys remember the last video? If not, it'll be in the description down below. We checked out all his dope ass animals. And today I did a couple of pickups I'm going to show you. But for right now, we just hanging out. We just kind of chilling right now. But I figured the same way I did with Small Town Exotics and Infinite Scales, we just sit down.
Oh, big shout out to freaking Shane, man.
Yeah, man.
I love Shane, man.
Chop it up a little bit, and then for those of you who are living under a rock and, really don't know who you are, talk to them, let them know who you are, man.
Oh, man, well, my name is Miguel, owner of Always Evolving Pythons, the hobby that turned into a straight-up full-time business. We all get that little bug, right, We grab one snake, we grab 5, and then we have 200. Well, actually 400 in this room.
So what was the origin story, man? How'd you become this superhero in the reptile world?
So the craziest part, man, is, I used to own gyms, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're a gym owner. And my daughter, came across Brian Barczyk's, channel. She's like, but at this time we were breeding bearded dragons, but I've always had reptiles since I was a kid. And she goes, oh, Dad, look at these cool snakes. I was like, oh, well, those are cool. Dude, I never even knew there was pieds, blue-eyed leucistics, any of that stuff. And then she's like, oh, could we get a couple snakes? I'm like, dude, your 8-year-old daughter, you're not going to tell her no. So I'm like, yeah, dude, let's grab like 10 of them. Then she's like, Dad, could you start a YouTube channel for me? Dude, long story short, 2 weeks after all this was done with snakes and YouTube, she could care less. But I saw that we got some traction, and then that's where I was just like, wow.
Crazy, right?
And now we're here.
It's nuts, right? From that original set of the collection, you still have most of them now, or like what percentage you would say you have now from the original group that you got?
Honestly, I only have 2 snakes from the original group.
Which ones are they?
They're right here, actually. It's so funny because they're gonna go. It's I'll pull her out right now. She's already, she should be laying soon. This is one of my first purchases back in the day when I first got into it. And this right here is a Firefly Yellow Belly, 100% het pied. This girl's about to drop, man. Yeah, and then right in the bottom of her, I have a pastel Yellow Belly or Gravel het pied as well too. But yeah, those are actually the only 2 that I got from the beginning. Sorry, he gets the nice, comfortable chair, and I got this one.
I know, right? Yeah, so I think for my original group, I still have the same normal. She's like 11 years old. And
I wish, dude, I wish I would have held back to like some normals. Because now that I hear people, especially you get lucky and you get that new gene in her, you want to prove something out. That's the only way you're gonna prove it out, man.
What was crazy about that is she's possible het pied, and I never put pied stuff to her because I've been doing a bunch of other projects with her,
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about this year because I got that Hypo Leopard Mojave Ember Pastel possible het pied, so I might just isolate those genes to a bunch of stuff too.
That'll be a good one.
And they'll be, and if I do prove out pied, they'll be double het Hypo pied.
Oh, that's right.
Leopard Mojave, all the other crap too. So. Yeah, man, he's gonna be doing some work this year too. So, so breeding season, you towards the end,
dude,
or
no? We had such a late season, and honestly, we're probably like halfway there.
Oh,
it sucks, dude. So check this out. We thought we were only gonna do about 20 to 30 clutches. Out of nowhere, females just started going, and now we're looking. Honestly, I think we're gonna do about 70 to 80.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude. But you know what? A lot of females absorbed. A lot of females. But I kept on talked to a couple of friends, and they said that a lot of their females absorbed too. It was something with the log winter that we had this last year, man.
And then you would notice as the years go, like every couple of years, everybody's season to be kind of real wonky and stuff too. Like it's like sometimes the decade of past, it'd be the even years that'd be jacked up, and sometimes it's the odd ones, So
dude, it's crazy, man. Like this whole the beginning of this season, the only person that we saw killing it right away was Ozzy. Yeah. It was the Ozzy show for like 3 months, dude. Yeah. He was just hatching stuff left to right. Now everyone's starting to hatch some other stuff. We got Justin hatching out some crazy stuff. I mean, there's so much, Will from Royal Canadian Reptiles. There's so much people just hatching crazy stuff right about now. We're on our 20th clutch, and we have like 54 left.
Holy crap! Yeah, they all fit in the incubator. You had to
no, but luckily, like everything you see with the purple sticker is going to be laying. That's already ovulated. Okay. So, honestly, things are going to be going from like September, October, November, December, January, March of next year. Sorry. But yeah, all the way up to May. So it's kind of a
be spaced out,
jacked up situation, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I haven't been able to use my backup incubator yet. I haven't produced that many clutches, but it's here just in case. Yeah, I got the numbers, but I'm just ready. If I gotta pull it out and kick some dust off of it,
right.
we be ready to go. So as far as like, I know this is cliche, but your most exciting clutches for the year, did you hit it already, or you still waiting on stuff?
So I've been doing like my top 10 clutches, right? I have I had 2 in the incubator, 1 just hatched, and it was a top 10 clutch. But after seeing all the stuff we hatched from there, dude, I was blown away. This is definitely one of the. It's gonna be hard to beat this clutch, which was a spot nose, yellow belly, red striped clown, bred to a Gotham, which is a leopard coral glow clown. And dude, I mean, if whoever's following my Instagram, you guys saw the stuff we've hatched. We hit a yellow belly scarecrow, possible red stripe. We've hit some yellow belly red stripe coral glow clowns, female makers. I mean, honestly, we hit no normals. And I mean, I had 8 beautiful hatchlings. Now there's only 7, just because he only came in for 1 snake. And he took
no, leave it with 2, right?
He left with 2. Right away, he's like, oh yeah, you're looking at me like you want me to take you. And I thought he was messing around. So we're going over there again on the living room. He's like, hey, so what do you want for it?
So you'll be able to see that video in the description down below. I'll post it. It came out today at the time of this video. And I actually watched it on the way here too. So I was like, just driving. I was like, man, let me see this thing. I was like,
yeah, it was, dude. We got crazy. But other than that, we have this. We have a clutch that should be. We should hit a Pompeii or 2, hopefully.
Nice.
We have 10 eggs.
I think I did see that one. That was the.
So it was the same male, spot nose, red stripe, yellow belly clown, bred to a black pewter clown.
Yeah.
And dude, she's only 2 years old. It's her 2nd year giving the clutch, and she's giving us back-to-back 10 eggs.
That's
2 years old. Think about it. That's insane.
Yeah, man. I got some stuff now that's like maybe 13, 14 months, but it's like 16, 1700 grams.
Yeah, no, I had some of those females
it's like
too.
building. I'm like, I'm gonna leave you.
Yeah.
But yes, sometimes you put them together, and I mean, just like there's all these people that has been reading forums forever, and it's like, it has to be 1,500 grams and 2.5 to 3 years old and stuff like that. You think in the wild, during the monsoon season, when they come out of their holes and stuff, and they see another
they're
thing,
like, nah, you ain't heavy enough.
The female goes, man, bro, but it was looking kind of good, but I think I'm only, I'm not even 2 years old yet, and I'm only 1,100 grams, so
right.
Not today, buddy.
So, dude, I found that out last year, and I'll tell you a funny story. So, I remember I had this female, she stopped eating. I called Justin, because Justin always helps me with a lot of things, right? He's like a freaking, a vet in this. And I go, hey, dude, like, I have this female, she's, 1,000 grams, she's done eating, I really want to get her up to size. Like, I'll put a male in her, she'll, blah, blah. I ended up getting an ultrasound at the time. And, dude, she was like at 20 millimeter follicles. Anyways, she was a little over a year. She ended up laying at 1,100 grams, and she gave me 8 eggs. And it was freaking great clutch. She's been going ever since, man. So that's one thing I started talking to a lot of big breeders, people that have been doing it for a while. Dude, and they were like, you know what, man, like, we breed it with the ultrasounds and stuff like that. We breed when girls are ready. Like you said, out in the wild, they're not going to be waiting for their size.
And
they're not going to have meals every week.
If they're not sexually mature yet, they won't develop the follicles. That's just the thing.
And now I do have some females here that are 3 years old that haven't gone for me, period. So it goes, back and forth with that.
That pastel het lavender last year, she turned 6 her first clutch. Would not give me anything. Wait, 6 years old. Nothing.
So the girls here that I'm showing that I still have, this is the first time going.
Holy crap.
Yeah, bro. I have girls that have hatched in my first season that have going for the 2nd year. Yeah, it's been crazy, man. But yeah, it's, I always check, and if they're ready to go, man, I'll put a male to them, man, and let them do their thing.
So do your males usually go off of food, or do they kind of stay?
Dude, so luckily, man, 3 of my powerful males have been eating and breeding every week. Now they're not really getting put to too much, females, so they will be going again. We're going twice a week. Now they're going once every other week. But yeah, other than that, everything's pretty much done eating right now.
Do you have a magic number for your males per male to female ratio?
Luckily, since usually I want them to do about 5 to 10 females. After getting the ultrasound, dude, it's been a freaking
makes it a lot easier.
Oh my god,
wasting,
dude, the first year when I have it, I was just, they were wasting, just going and going. Now, dude, they hit the things perfect. And for example, there was 3 females. Just recently, they only had 2 lockups, and boom, they went, and they had solid eggs, dude, virgins. So it's been good, man.
So I had a backup pastel clown male that literally just was sitting at the bottom of my rack 3 years. It was like, pastel clown male. Like, I take him to the gym, the kids play with him, stuff like that, and had no plans of breeding them. But my lemon blast clown male just decided that, hey, I don't have time for this mess no more. So I was like, you know what? I had it for sale at Morphmarket for the longest, and I was like, no one's gonna buy him. It's a pastel clown. People, this base clown morph. he bred the 4 females.
Yeah.
But it was projects that I just wanted head clown stuff from them, so it didn't really matter that it was a pastel clown, you know. So it was like spot nose pastel, and banana is a banana pin inchy fire female.
Ooh, nice.
So you know, so all she'll have heads and things like that too. A female from a female maker and stuff. So yeah. So you know, little future projects wasn't that big of a deal. And then as soon as I posted that he bred, then somebody bought him the next day.
It's crazy how that works, dude. I can't do that.
It's like, holy crap, man. So,
dude, I'm telling you, this whole reptile industry has been like, it's been like so mind blowing, man. It's like growing and growing and growing. Like kind of like you said, like you bred it and someone hits you up, hey man, you can like part ways with it.
Yeah.
That's been what happened with most of my breeders. Like, yeah, are you done with that female? Yeah.
Do you have a preseason build up like a ritual you do with your males or your females? Do you like cool? Do you like?
No, I leave everything the same. This room doesn't leave from like the ambient temp from being 81 to like 79. Give or take a couple of degrees. And that I usually would start in October. Now, this year since it was so late, I won't start breeding until like maybe late January. Just because I know the females will not be ready in time.
What's your hot spots at?
My hot spots right now are around like anywhere from 89 to like 90.
Nice. Around
there. And again, it's like, it's so hard. Like if you see all my temps, it says like 99 or 100 or 102. It's because I go off of like the bedding and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the thing is like, if it gets too cold for them, they'll dig in there. Same thing where they're gonna lay their clutches.
Or they'll get closer to water.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I have to have my thermostats like at 89. These things are not gonna get that hot, dude. They have to go through metal, plastic, and then freaking bedding.
And then for bedding, of course, you use Reptile Chip.
Yeah, Reptile Chip. Yeah.
I
nothing but Reptile Chip.
I actually started messing with Cocoa Blocks.
And Cocoa Blocks too. Cocoa Block is good too.
I started messing with Cocoa Blocks. I got some from Shane too. And actually, I like them both mixed together.
It's crazy. Like all those, like the Reptile Chip, Cocoa Block. What's the other one? Pro Cocoa. Yeah. They're all great stuff, man. You're not gonna, we use Reptile Chip. Just JT's a really good. Big shout out to JT. He's a really good friend of ours, man. And we just been using it. We just like it, But again, all of them have their own little, nice touch to it. I won't say they're the same though. I will say that.
No, they're
they're different. Yeah.
I went a season where I got off of Cocoa and went back to paper. Talk about a nightmare, bro. Because first of all, the smell, and I spent almost double the time in the snake room because you spot cleaning. And
we tried doing the paper one time too, and it was like, yep, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
you clean one now, dude. You walk in, you're like, yep, someone went again.
Yep.
Yeah, no, the Pro Cocoa, the Pro Cocoa, Reptile Chip, Cocoa Block, they all work really good, man. It helps with the smell, and what I like about it is the humidity that it builds inside the tubs.
And the thing is, too, like, every snake keeper, especially that has, like, a big breed operation, like, when you put fresh bedding in there, and everybody says, oh, put fresh bedding in there, they poop right away and stuff, too. A lot of people don't know that that's a defense mechanism for them, where they need that familiarity, because when you put in, like, fresh bedding and fresh paper, it's almost like they got put in new surroundings now, so they kind of insecure about it, too.
Yeah.
So that's why, when you put fresh bedding in there, they will produce some shit from somewhere.
I will say this, too, man, like, my hatchlings, everything that's hatched out, putting them in bedding right away, dude, their feeding response is 100 times better. Because they feel more secure. They'll, like, curl up a little bit, like nest, kind of. And, it's a lot better for us.
Yeah, I started that this season, too, and I noticed
I started this season, too, because I did it a couple times. I tested I was like, wow, that's a big difference.
Did you, I didn't get to the part where I'm incubating on Cocoa yet.
I'm not doing that. Okay.
I'm not there yet.
I will tell you right now, I can't do that yet just because the way I was taught the first way has been, like, working for me really, really good. I might get to that. I can't right now. Something really drastically has to happen with the snare that I'm doing now.
I started with Hatch Right back in the day because I wasn't mixing anything.
See, I use Pro Light.
Because I was so because with Hatch Right it's already like mixed and it's like that like isomer crap or whatever like that, and I just stick it in there, nestle it in, fine. But I did get worried towards the end because they would dry out a little bit too fast. But then, people know about this on the channel, but I switched over to using the light diffusers. And then last season, I bought like a bunch of sheets of it from Home Depot, right? And I spent like all day cutting them up, and then had me a video with the damn.
That's right. Yeah.
Yo, the next day, I'm like, this exists. And then just because I'm petty, I'm like,
easy hatch trays.
The easy hatch trays. I'm like, dude. I'm not doing it. Nope. If I get to the point where I have too many clutches where I don't have to recut these, I buy some, and I'm just being petty and childish, and that's why I don't have.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing too. We were cutting, chipping things off all over the place,
cutting the eye and stuff.
Man. But the easy hatcheries have been so good, man.
Yeah.
They're convenient to have. But on top of that, though, with the hat tray, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brian Barczyk uses that. That is a pioneer in the reptile industry. That's all he uses.
Mm-hmm.
He puts them in there, puts them in, and that's it.
And even Justin doesn't use diffusers.
No,
and
he uses
vermiculite.
vermiculite.
He does like the mixture of vermiculite and perlite too, or just
he's just been using
vermiculite.
Yeah.
See, I use the big chunk vermiculite, like the really really heavy stuff too, and that's been great.
Yeah.
It holds moisture for so much longer, and like now the eggs I cut the other day were at day like 56, and they still were just nice and plump too. And I was like, dude, yeah, this is just the way to go.
Dude, and I'm telling you, man, I think I did see a video or a picture of some eggs hatching in Reptile chip, so I think Justin might.
Yeah.
I need to ask him.
I did see a picture of the story.
I saw it today.
Yeah,
I saw it today.
that's
Actually,
what
that's
it
why
was.
they say that. So, it's interesting.
But the thing a lot of people don't realize when, even back in the older days, just a couple of YouTubers out there giving advice about how to place your eggs and how to do everything to your snakes, though, it's a lot of stuff that people don't realize is different. So people live in Florida is different from us. We're in the high desert, so altitude is a big deal. Humidity is a big deal. So when you do stuff like, I squeeze it and I have to do a 1-to-1 ratio, that depends on where you live.
Dude, in Florida, you can freaking hatch them by putting them outside.
Yeah, Florida, you can sit them outside with the humidity, let them internally incubate and stuff like that too.
But you're right though, it's different. It just depends. Like we're in like a dry heat over here, so we need to build up our humidity a lot more than someone that would have to be with high humidity.
In my the old house, to keep the humidity up in there, I had an alligator snapping turtle, like in the tank, the 70-gallon tank, and it was just open, so it kept the humidity in there up. And then
Brian Barczyk with freaking what's his name, RJ. He has that big pond.
Alligator,
yeah.
So
because he uses paper, but he needs that humidity. He has a big old pond there.
See, that's where having employees comes in handy, man.
Yeah.
Like that, cause this.
That's why I'm gonna have Jesse.
There's no way I'm going back to paper, man. It just happened. But I went back to paper because of a couple of accidents I had. The one with the super black pastel when he got some like coconut between his like lip, and that had his eyes bugging out and stuff too. And I took him to the vet. The vet was like, we should just put him down. And I was like, this is a $2,000 snake.
Yeah, we're not gonna put him down.
He's like, it is? I was like, yeah, it is. So we cleared it was like a little piece of like coconut in there, like up in his lip. They yanked that out, gave him antibiotics and stuff too. Man, he looked good a couple weeks.
He still
tried to feed him. He ate and then died the next day right after he ate. And I was just like,
that sucks with snakes, man. Like just investment things in general. Like you pay so much and you just never know what's gonna. That just happened to me recently. I had a snake that I purchased for like $5,000. Dude, got one clutch at him. He just died.
Holy crap!
Straight up died. I was just like, wow.
That happened. I told you about the banana clown, right?
Yeah.
That was the worst. So yeah, he was going with a 4,000 gram. I have a Volta head clown female, and I pull the tub open and there's star, and I slowly close it, and she jerks away from him, rips his hemipene, and he bleeds out. So
yeah, we've had. I mean.
So leave your snakes alone when you put them in the thing. Like if they're locking, fine, close it, let them do their thing. Oh my God,
my wife did that, and trust me, we learned the hard way.
So I see people with their snakes tied together, they're feeding them in the tub. Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm like, stop. So
leave them alone. You can peek in there, they're locked up, put it down, and leave.
Yeah. So, but. Like, especially when you're online and you see, like, newer snake keepers do stuff like that, instead of being that guy that's, like, in the comments section, like, talking crap, I'll private message them and tell them my experience.
Bro, I'll tell you
and they take it a little bit better now,
Dude, people get demolished when they're a new person. I mean, I learned from my experience, I got derailed, and I still see people, like, asking for advice, and all they do is get made fun of, man.
Dude, I'm still getting killed for the video when I talked about the 4 different types of annoying customers. So I posted it in one of the groups, and people was just like, well, this just sounds like someone who should never, ever make a sale again and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, you sound like the person who's never sold a snake in your life. So it's a big deal. Like, people don't realize I talk to people constantly. Like, my inbox on Instagram, people just, like, on a video asking for advice. And I'm the same way with other people. I hit you guys up. I hit up Justin. I hit up Billy and stuff, too, when I have questions, too. So I couldn't be that guy who's just ignoring everybody, not answering stuff, too. Yeah. Because, this is the best time to breed ball pythons. Like, there was a time, like, we still have guys right now breeding. The ball python business is dead. You should do this. You should do that. Everybody has something bad to say about the ball python industry, but last year I made $80,000. Yeah. And I'm small time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't hear that, IRS. No.
Yeah. For real.
You know.
Dude, I hear that a lot about the ball python industry not doing so good. people that are saying that, it's not doing good for them. It's not because of what they're producing. It's just because of them in general, dude. Like that goes in any business.
What I parallel it to is like stand up comedy. Like there's a time like 'cause I go to the comedy store all the time, and you know when it was open, and there was just like this sense of competition with whatever comedian until Joe Rogan came back and had like all these cliques of friends and like putting people on shows and things like that too, and that helped the individuals, but it helped the industry period, you know. So like I always say, you know, like when you help somebody, that helps the hobby, that helps the business. You
Dude,
know what I mean?
my god, like that's why I remember in the beginning when I was giving all these people these shout outs, or I would go to the Reptile shows and I share with them, I was like, oh, why are you doing that? It's like, dude, I feel like, first of all, I feel no threat with any of these people. I think the more that everyone else is doing better, the business alone is going to do better. And that just goes in anything. You don't want to just have 2 big breeders, 3 big breeders, or 10 breeders. You want like 50 to 100 of them.
Yeah, even some of the guys where like they follow on Instagram and they message you and you go to their page to see if you can follow them. They got 3 posts with 27 followers. Some of those guys have spent the most money from me.
Yeah.
You know, because they want to get started, and instead of me just saying, hey, buy this from me, you kind of bring them along the right way. All the stuff that we should have done the first time around, a lot of the new people aren't making these mistakes now because they have so many people that they can mentor and ask questions to, man. And that's just dope. And eventually, some of those projects that I'm helping people out with, I'm going to buy from them too.
Yeah.
I'm going to be their first customer, you know?
And that's why I like, what's it called, Shane Kelly, dude, from freaking Small Town. He's one of the guys, I remember we talked in the beginning, dude, he's been going dude, Shane's freaking a good example of like what to do get into this business.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just starting, he's freaking killing it, man.
I saw the pastel magma that he got from you
yeah,
stuff too,
dude.
and he planned on breeding that guy this year, but he didn't go. So he had like a backup clown and stuff too, and he's waiting for that. I'm waiting for that leopard spot nose female to pop from.
That's for me. That's for me,
that
man.
one too. She's probably, it's gonna be funny because I'm gonna go online and she's laying right now that we're talking about her and stuff too. So. Yeah, he's one of, like, honestly, dude, he's one of the new guys. He's probably one of my favorite people.
Yeah, same here. Shane's freaking, he's awesome,
in the industry, man. And then it was cool because I was honored to be the first person to do a facility tour of this place and do a sit down with him, man. And it was just so fun. Like, we ate lunch and stuff too. He got a little Frenchie that was like trying to love my leg off.
Not biting like my little freaking dog. My dogs are crazy.
Yeah, so man, but it's just a lot of people like that coming up. I see people coming over from like bearded dragons and leopard geckos, and they're making a move. And
it's blowing up, man. It's a perfect time to get into this, and I honestly don't see it even slowing down anytime soon.
And to me, I think one of the biggest reasons for the crossover to like other media and things like that is you, man. Like you doing like doing collabs with like Summer Rae and then the Phase Club.
Dude, I got killed for those,
then,
man.
Yeah, I mean, see, the thing about that is too is it's gonna be noise everywhere. You know,
what's irritating to me, it's like, dude, I mean, a lot of people like the old time breeders, they want this thing to be so small, stuff like that. But I think it should be bigger, right? I'm trying to bring a lot of influencers, celebrities, you know, exactly stuff like that. But what they don't understand is like, I'm trying to make this better for all of us, not just for me. I mean, dude, I can only produce so much amount of snakes.
So I sold a fire pied adult female to a good friend of mine. She lives in LA. She does like music videos. She knows like rappers and that thing was in 4 music videos inside of a month.
Yeah,
you know, like she's a star now too. But she ended up like giving her back to me because she's like leaving town and doing some stuff too. So I got her back now, whatever. Yeah. And I'm gonna breed her this year too, and she's huge. So, but yeah, just things like that too. Now I got people hit me up like singers and rappers going, hey, you know, can you help me out? Like, I want to do this the right way. They hit me with, I want to do this the right way. So what do I need? I'll pay for it and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, well, here you go. This is what you need to do. You know, so it's not just, so when you see celebrities buying stuff, like, I don't understand why people would think that a person that's doing well in life is just going to half-ass take care of stuff when they buy it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Too, like, they have, first of all, most of them have the money where they can get the stuff that they need. You know, so that's be what you want, you know, so
100%.
Yeah, and the people just see like a pretty face and go, oh, this demo is just gonna do that, and I'm like, you don't know anything about the person,
right?
You know, so just like the girl that had that fire pie, and she's had a bunch of pie stuff, some clown stuff.
And that's the thing, people don't understand. Like, they actually do know about reptiles. They have other stuff, but they obviously right away they just assume, oh, this person doesn't know, you know, nothing about it, and blah blah blah. But
it's like remember with like Ton Jones, right? He has like
Ton Jones from right here, man.
Yeah, he has his own line of like hooks and stuff like that too. Yeah, I have one of the ones with the rubber piece on it that you open the racks with too. Yeah, so hockey players, basketball players.
Dude, I sold some snakes to Ben Simmons.
Yep.
Point guard for the freaking 76ers.
So Jalen Turner, he's in the UFC, the Tarantula. So he used to have a bunch of ball pythons, and then now he's kind of getting back into it now. So I sent him some albino stuff, and he's kind of getting back to his collection. He's like, yeah, man, just send me this, and send me that too. So yeah, that collab is gonna be crazy, man. When we finally do the UFC one, then
Hell yeah,
finally
that's gonna
do
be
that.
sick, dude.
That's gonna be nuts. Everybody should be back soon. Like taking a little break from the fights in a couple of weeks still, and everybody's back fighting and stuff too. So you're gonna see a bunch of UFC champions.
I can't wait for that, man.
A bunch of UFC champions with ball pythons.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be big for us.
Everybody wants them now, and the thing is, it's not like when I get messages on Facebook, it's not just, hey, I want a snake. It's, hey, like, what does it take to take care of these things? Do you need this? Do you need that? And like, we're going in depth into this thing too. So a lot of people, there's going to be a lot of responsible owners out there, man. This industry, like I'm telling you, in 2021, 2022, the thing's going to blow up.
Oh my God, 100%. 100%.
So for all you breeders and aspiring breeders, I'm telling you guys, like, get ready to get your piece of the pie soon.
Yeah,
because,
it's gonna get bigger and bigger, man.
Because what I don't have, I'm gonna go call this guy or call that guy, too. So I'm just excited, man. So but with your breeder males though, back to that, you don't do anything weird with them, like to get them started their first season. Like, do you like pop them beforehand?
No,
or like
dude,
put it with other males?
I throw them in there and that's it.
Dude, I do all the rituals. Like I'm the person. I'm the person that wears like the college basketball shorts under the things.
Bro, that would be when I go golfing. Dude, I'm like, oh, this guy must be really good. But no, dude, I just look the part.
Dude, I put the males together for a little bit, let them spar around a bit. I do the sheds. I pop them beforehand too. And
I'll pop some of the young ones to see if they're producing some sperm plugs and stuff like that.
Well, when I find out with some of like the adults that have like multiple females they're going to, sometimes you'll have like the dried sperm under it too. So when I pop them and clear that off, they usually go right away. So like that works a lot too. So I'll pop the males too and clear everything up, and then they'll hit their boom right away too. I think popping them actually like. He looks at me like, isn't that time? You trying to,
right?
Yeah, I do that. Just, for the younger stuff to get going. And then with the females, I don't cool because I keep everything kind of the same.
I don't cool them, but I do power feed the heck out of them. And I learned this from Bar Chick, man. That thing saved my season this year. I feed them twice as much. Not like in that one sitting. So, for example, if they get one small rat, they'll get two small rats. You know what I mean?
The thing with ball pythons about their eating, if anything possible is off on their routine, they won't eat.
Yeah.
So if they're willing to eat, feed them.
Dude, I have some females here that haven't ate like in 8 months.
I have.
They still look good.
I had my first morph was a pastel in like 2007, I think it was. Pastel male. He didn't eat the whole time I owned him. I had him for like a year and a half.
Holy hell.
Never lost weight. He just. Like, it just didn't matter. And he bred a couple of times, and he wanted nothing to do with food, man, but just nothing until I got enough selling my collection that time. And then the guy was like, yeah, he's eating just fine and stuff, too. But, yeah, I've had stuff, too. And a lot of times, too, that's the issue when you, like, get people's collection and people dumping off, like, adults to you and stuff like that, too.
You don't know their routine.
So there's a big difference between stuff being upgraded and stuff being pawned off, too. But the thing about it is, though, I've been, like, full disclosure about stuff like that I've sold. Like, if I have a female that I finally got a clutch from, she proved out everything I wanted, and I don't want to deal with her again, I'm like, hey, look, she used to sell. She only eats ASFs, and they have to be live, and there can't be a bowl in there with her, because if the ASF gets wet inside the water, she doesn't eat wet rats, and you got to make sure the temperature is not above 88, because that's too high for her.
I just got rid of 3 females that were just like that, man.
Yeah,
but I tell people, I'm like, hey, man, this is, what it takes to do that.
This is what you have to deal with, so, I mean, have at it, so yeah, that, and then, so you said you use this only perlite?
Only use perlite, fill it up all the way with water, then put the, easy hatch tray.
Do you use the handles that come with them? When you
no,
put
I've never used the handles. I've always just put it in there, I'll just squeeze my fingers and then pull it out.
So you just got like a box somewhere with the easy hatch?
Yeah, they're right there. The box is right there, right in the back.
That's crazy. Yeah, and what kind of tubs do you use? Just a regular 6?
Just a regular shoe tubs, the ones that are right there. I literally have everything right there. We just grab stuff, have the pearl right there, and boom.
And for your incubator, you use the
sea serpents.
The sea serpents.
Yeah, same thing that over there back with my hat.
The hot box incubator, right? Yep, hot box. Yeah, that's I'm probably gonna upgrade that.
Dude, it's been so freaking man. It's been the best, dude.
It's just How many fans in just like the one on the top and is the bottom and top?
So
fan,
no, it's just a top fan.
Okay.
But it has the what's it called? The where it circulates the whole. It's, oh my gosh, there's a name for it. I can't even think about it. So it makes it a hot box floor.
Somebody online is like, oh my God, it's
Damn,
this.
I know. I'm trying to think.
This is me listening to the podcast and stuff like that. It's this.
I can't. I'm like trying to a brain fart
It's
right now.
Daniel Corbin.
Yeah, right.
me doing MMA podcasts.
For real.
Yeah. So yeah, man, and then obviously you got Freedom Breeder stuff. You got
Freedom Breeder, ARS, Sea
stuff,
Serpents.
too.
Yeah, I am gonna train everything pretty much to all these the metal racks. I will be going to Freedom
I
Breeders.
don't even want to talk to you about
These are supposed to go to him.
So I've been trying to buy these
Yeah.
for 3 years.
He's to
But
go.
that's so crazy, man. They're still here.
Yeah.
Well, at least I know you didn't just tell them.
No,
somebody
I
else.
wasn't lying. I just haven't got my new ones.
Somebody
in.
else, yeah. So so that's the goal to get the 1040 series or whatever like that. I'm
Yeah,
trying
the
to get
1040
like
is my favorite rack. Just the only thing is when I have like those girls that are over 3,500 grams, they have to go into 70.
Yeah, I still have like just a 6-stack, the CB70, like one of our Freedom Breeder stuff that just for that too.
Again, like I said, like the Freedom Breeder racks, like these are my favorite. But when the girls get over 3,500 grams, man, they have to go into 70 series.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, but we got a little tight schedule right now, so I just want to say I appreciate you, man. Everything you do, man.
Oh
and
man, for
thank
sure.
you for answering the phone whenever you do. Oh,
And-
1 out of 7 times, man. I appreciate you, dog. Everything you do, man. I don't care what the haters say. I call them.
Oh.
I call them the. What I call them the NPCs, the non-playable
Well, I got one
characters.
today. You saw it on my story about the girl say I was kicking puppies and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
so it's just, that's just how it is, man. And then that's one thing that I learned starting this YouTube thing 4 or 5 months ago, too, that there's going to be people out there, like on Instagram a couple years ago when I showed that super black pastel, somebody commented, man, like, your hands almost match the color of the snake. But I thought it was funny, but still,
Yeah, that's
I was like, yes, my first troll.
Oh, dude,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Oh my gosh, I get them all the time.
Too. So, but a lot of those guys too, like they'll add me on Instagram and I'll just hit the call button and they'll be like, yeah, remember?
Hey, so what were you saying?
And then the energy is not the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
It never
man, I
is.
was just playing,
Never
what I mean?
is,
So,
man.
but are you excited to go back to shows and stuff? Or
Yeah, I'm hoping they're gonna be normal, man. I know Daytona I'm not gonna be able to make, which is this coming week, but the St. Louis one's the one I'm trying to get to.
Cool.
Definitely gonna do a nice little tour over there, man.
Yeah, so I'll be around the shows this time. Probably not buying a whole bunch. I say that now. But
Bro, you said you were trying to pick up one fucking snake and you picked something else
yeah,
up.
but man, appreciate you, big dog,
Oh, for
man.
sure, man.
I love you, brother, man. Make sure if you guys are crazy, have him on his YouTube, subscribe to his channel. Hit that notification bell so the next time a video pops up. And make sure you hit up my man on Instagram as well. Follow both of his pages, Always Evolving Pythons, and his personal page, right? What's
No,
his
just
personal
always Long Pythons.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then but all of that stuff, man. Until next time, dog.
Peace.